Hey guys, it's us again, your favorite people to watch on the internet, we hope.
We hope.
This is our second variety show, and it's our Christmas edition. We've got our Christmas hats, our Christmas tree, so we're excited about that. And we're going to play some Christmas tunes, and then as promised, we're going to answer some questions, which I think will really be fun. And then we're going to have a guest appearance, so you don't want to miss that.
Right, so this next song we're going to do, I should say the first song, is called Christmas Time Is Coming. Christmas times are coming, Christmas times are coming, Christmas times are coming, and I know I'm going home. Snowflakes are falling, my old heart's are calling for the folks at home when Christmas times are coming. Can't you hear them bells ringing, ringing, joy to all to hear them singing? When it snowed, I'll be going back to my country home. Christmas times are coming, Christmas times are coming, Christmas times are coming, and I know I'm going home. White candles burning, my old heart's a yearning for the folks at home when Christmas times are coming. Can't you hear them bells ringing, ringing, joy to all to hear them singing? When it's snowing, I'll be going back to my country home. Christmas times are coming, Christmas times are coming, Christmas times are coming, and I know I'm going home. Holly's in the window, home is where the wind blows. I can't walk or running, 'cause Christmas times are coming. Can't you hear them bells ringing, ringing, joy to all to hear them singing? When it's snowing, I'll be going back to my country home. Christmas times are coming, Christmas times are coming, Christmas times are coming, and I know I'm going home. Christmas times are coming, Christmas times are coming, Christmas times are coming, and I know I'm going home.
So this next tune that we're going to do is a hymn called Beautiful Star of Bethlehem. It's a sweet little tune. I remember hearing this growing up, but it's a hard tune, so you have to bear with us on
I
that.
feel like all the good ones are hard ones to play. I don't know if I'm the only one that thinks that, but we're going to give it our best try.
Right.
So,
Let's see if we can do this.
oh beautiful star of Bethlehem, shining afar through shadows dim, giving the light for those who long have gone, guiding the wise got that. It's awesome.
We got that and didn't do too bad.
Right, I love that song. It's one of my favorite Christmas songs, but it's just it's a hard one to sing for a lot of different reasons.
It is a hard one.
Okay, so I want to answer some questions.
Yeah, okay, so I think I'll go first. Let's see here. Let's see, what do I want to do first? So the first question is from Terry Leach, and it says, do you see your music more as a ministry or more as an entertainment? And that's kind of a hard one. You know, for me personally, I'm a spiritual person, so in a way I see it as a ministry, because I think of it as, you know, I may sing this gospel tune and it may lift someone up or help them. You know, but I probably mostly see it as entertainment, as just entertaining people. You know, but we've had lots of people come up to us after a show and say, you know, I've just really kind of been in a bad place or just having a hard time, and this really helps me. So I do think it's both.
I would say both. When I think of it overall, I definitely think it's entertainment first. But I think of ministry as well, because singing these gospel songs, they help me. They give me a way to serve, giving me a way to serve the Lord, you know, because the best way to serve the Lord is to serve others. So singing these songs for other people, for God's word, for different things, I would say it's both. Yeah, I would say so. And I like the gospel part of our singing.
Definitely.
I do.
So going off that is a question from David Kaner, and it says, also sort of related to Terry Leach's question, I wonder, when playing music for others, are you performing, sharing, both at once, are there differences? So for me, I'm definitely performing. You know, I enjoy performing, and I like the fact that people come to, you know, just watch me. But also sharing, especially the tunes that I write. That's definitely, I love songwriting, but it's a vulnerable kind of thing, and I would say everyone's probably like that. And so it's definitely sharing in the sense that I'm singing this, hoping that people like this. And then, yeah, I mean, and it's definitely both at once. And then there's definitely differences. Sometimes, you know, I may be at a gig and I just kind of feel like I'm straight up performing. And I'm just there to entertain people. And then lots of times in other more kind of intimate, personal, close settings, I kind of feel more like I'm sharing because, you know, the people may be sitting really close or there just may be less people.
I would say everything you just said. I feel the same way.
Wait a minute. Let me let me finish these two because these two.
Sure.
These two kind of go together. So to finish, David Kaner's other question: when are you coming to New England? Soon. We have been saying for the last several years we were going to come to visit you, and we really want to do that soon. Maybe that will be one of our 2019. 2019. That's not happening yet.
Soon. I mean, that's soon.
I mean 2018. And then also, this is so sweet, Terry Leach also says, 5-year-old Brooklyn asked, do you sisters always get along or do you sometimes fuss? And if you fuss, do your parents give you consequences?
I can answer this one. I would say, Brooklyn, that when we were little, when we were your age, all the way up until I was probably 12 years old, we did argue and we did fuss. And oops, sorry, I dropped my bow. I'm just going to leave it down there for now. We would argue and we would fuss and we would push and shove and bite and kick, all those kind of fun, sisterly, brotherly love kind of things. And we did get in trouble too. When we would argue and fuss, there was consequences, and most of those involved being spanked.
We got lots of spanking.
Oh gosh, way too many to count on all of our fingers and toes.
But as of now, we're too old.
As of now, I'm 21 years old, so there's really nothing that I can push her down for, or pull her hair for. So I would say
we don't fight anymore.
No, we've not fought and argued for years. But yes, we did fuss, and yes, there were consequences. This was one of my favorite questions. Timothy Berry, you are such a person who must observe things really well. What would you call that? An observationist? I don't know. He says, here's a good stupid question for you. Why is Katie always on the right side of Corey? Well, I like being on the right side for one, but for two, it wouldn't work probably really well if I was on the left side because her guitar neck would probably be right in my rib cage. So we set like this. Even though my bow is kind of right in her face sometimes when we're really close, it just works better like this.
It's not as big as like the guitar.
Right. The bow I can kind of have a little bit more control over, but I need the elbow room as well. It's not just about comfort. I really have to have the elbow room to bow, and if I'm behind her guitar, I just don't have that kind of room. So that's why I'm always on the right side. Bill Collins, I want to answer your question kind of along with Tommy Williams. Bill says, am I right with your grandfather being your main inspiration? I would say absolutely. I feel like I wasn't just born with a talent. It had to come from somewhere, and it come from him, I think. And so he's the one that fostered that within us, the music and the family and the sense of belonging in Appalachia, and carrying that on and carrying that with you, and even probably some of the songwriting, because he wrote a whole lot of songs himself. So I would say absolutely it did come from him. We played with him. He taught us a whole lot of things. Tommy says what was the main inspiration that got you girls started, and do you have a favorite artist? So I would say the main inspiration probably was just Pat, because I was like, man, Pat's so cool, and like, look at all these things that he did with his brother, and singing and playing, you know, and I want to do that.
And it was definitely family oriented, because, you know, we grew up in a musical family, but even when, you know, the family wasn't actually playing music themselves, looking back, there was always music in the background, in the car, you know, in the stereo, in the house, on the TV.
Cassette player, whatever.
And there was just always music. And as far as favorite artist goes, oh my gosh, I probably can't list one, but lots of
a few favorites.
Yeah, but lots of people, you know, that I like, that I grew up listening to. I grew up listening to Merle Haggard, Marty Robbins, Dwight Yoakam, George Jones. But then, you know, we also grew up listening to more bluegrass people like Del McCurry, Dual Lawson.
Long time ago, Dual Lawson.
Yeah, so a lot of people, yeah, kind of like that.
I would say y'all are going to get a real big kick out of this one, but you know what? I just really dig Eddie Rabbit, okay? Him and Ronnie Millsap, I just really dig those kind of people. But I would, along with what she said, we grew up with a lot of music, but I always dug Eddie Rabbit's music. I just always have. So he would be close for a favorite of mine. Let's see, what else do we have?
These two are kind of the same.
Okay, so Chuck and Sylvia, your questions are kind of related, and since we're all piling them in here, we're just going to relate these two as well. Chuck says, at what age did you all start playing musical instruments? And then Sylvia says, when did you learn the fiddle and guitar? So I started on the piano first, years and years ago, and I could halfway play it. I mean, I enjoyed it, and I had fun, but I felt left out when we would go places like jams, because you're not taking a piano with you. And if there is a piano at that location and someone's already on it, and I'm this little 12-year-old, you know, it's probably a little older than that, I'm shy, you know, I don't want to play on this piano. So I would say I started with that first, and I'll let you talk for yourself.
and so I actually had the fiddle first. When I was in 8th grade, there was a classical program, and I was in that, and I just didn't stick with it. And so I eventually put that down, and then I picked up the guitar maybe.
It had to be every bit of 6 or 7 years ago. I know it doesn't seem that way, but
it was probably maybe I've been playing guitar for 7 years, and you've been playing fiddle for maybe 5.
Probably 5 going on 6, I would say, because when I stopped the piano, Mom had ended up buying that instrument, buying my fiddle through the program. You could just rent it, or you could just pay it off, you know, make payments on it and buy it. And so she was like, hey man, instruments are not cheap, and I'm not going to play it. Your sister's done playing the guitar, your daddy's not going to play it, and you're kidding if you think the dog's going to do anything with it. So I always joke about that I was coerced into it because of that, but I wasn't. I mean, I picked it up freely, and I wanted to play it, and I was probably about 14, 15 years old, something like that.
So, my turn?
Yeah.
So, Caitlin Morris, she asked, what's your current favorite song to play? So for me, I'm probably going to have to say, this may be what you're going to say too, Ami Gagnon. That's a French tune that we learned over the summer, and it's such a good tune, and it's so catchy and fun to play, so I'm really into playing that tune right now.
I would have to say the same thing.
Let's see, and Ruben. I'm afraid I'm going to pronounce your name wrong. So
Let's not say the last name. We're not going to put your last name in there,
I think
Ruben.
I may not say it. It says, if given an opportunity to pursue a huge career in the music business, would you leave your home state to further it Hollywood style? For me personally, it's hard to say, you know, but to be honest, I feel like I would probably have to say no, because I want to pursue this music. I want to, you know, possibly have a career at it, but I see myself more as, you know, being all on the internet, you know, making a living off YouTube, and you know, making CDs, playing for dances, writing tunes. I see myself more on that avenue than, you know, on tour 300 days out of the year.
Right, I would probably have to say no, because this little girl's never been on a plane, and I have no intentions of getting on one, and I dang sure ain't going to cross the countries on a boat. They could just kind of put me in a rocket and shoot me over there, and I could land on my feet. No, I guess I would probably just say no at this point in my life, because it's true. I mean, I have a deathly fear of airplanes, helicopters, anything in the air. I'm scared of it. But I feel like that's not the direction that I want to go in right now. Now, 5 years down the road, things may be different, but right now I feel like I want to be a more locally based group, and I want to make my living off the internet, y'all, so I can sit here in my sweatpants and never leave my house. I'm going to be honest. So, last question we have is from Miguel. I think I'm saying that right. That's a cool name, Miguel. That just sounds really cool. What is the best trip that you guys have taken, and why? I've taken a lot of trips, but I'm assuming you mean with my music. So, I would say probably one of my favorite trips that we ever took to play music was we didn't go very far. We went to Spartanburg, South Carolina. And I loved it because it was far enough away to feel like, ooh, I'm big stuff, going all the way down to Spartanburg. It was a lot of fun. It was for an App Studies class, was it not? It was for like an Appalachian class, and we played in this church, and the class met there.
To clarify, we weren't taking the class, but it was at a college function, and those people were in an Appalachian class.
Right, in a community college or whatever down there. I mean, it was a class, so there you go. But I liked it a whole lot because I just felt so honored to be up there on that stage, and like they were asking me my opinion and like what do I think and all these things, and it made me feel really good. Wow, they must think I'm an authority on this. So that was a lot of fun. We talked about Appalachia. We brought our mom all along. Mama talked. Bless your heart, Corey. I probably did most of the talking like I usually do. So that's mine. What would be yours?
Well, this is music related, but it wasn't for, we didn't play at this, but several years ago, I think it's not been that long ago, I think it was our first semester or first year in college, we went to Johnson City, Tennessee, to East Tennessee State University. That's a mouthful.
ETSU.
ETSU.
You should just said that.
I know, and it was like a conference thing, and it was part of an Appalachian class that we were in, and it was for a conference, and it was just really neat because they had different things, and a lot of it was centered around Appalachia, but a lot of it was, of course, music centered around that. And it was really neat. I remember they had a studio in sort of one of the classrooms, and we got to go in that and check that out. And then that night, the ETSU band played, and they were great, and Ricky Skaggs played, so that was really cool. And that was just a fun trip. Johnson City seemed like it was kind of a hub for music, so that was neat.
Absolutely. So
thank you guys for submitting your questions. This is so neat, to hear from you guys. You guys do so much for us by viewing our stuff, by sharing our stuff, by buying CDs. This is the least that we could do for you, to answer some questions. So thank you guys so much, because, we wouldn't be here without you guys, all the fans. If no one liked our music.
Right, and it makes us feel good to think, wow, someone's actually interested in what silly little old me does, So yeah, absolutely. Thank you for watching this. We are going to introduce our guest here in just a second, okay? Okay, cut. We'll cut.
So as I promised earlier, it's time to introduce our special guest. His name is Little Joey. He is Katie's second personality. And to give you a little bit of background information about this song so it's going to make sense, Katie makes jewelry, as many of you may know, and Little Joey works in her sweatshop. So this is kind of what that song is about. So do you want to introduce yourself, Little Joey?
Hello, it's me, Little Joey, and I'm going to sing you a song before I check it out.
Okay, you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. Let's see.
Jingle bells, Little Joey's in the shop. Oh, my tools are rusty 'cause my heads, they smell hot. Oh, jingle bells, all my work is done, except those 7 orders that I hit, well, just for fun. Dashing through the snow on foot because I'm poor. If I had a sleigh, my feet wouldn't be so sore. I of me, I wanted it too. I needed it for the smoothies that I had planned to do. I fought real hard that day, took the planter as my own. I showed that me old lady and sent her butt back home. Oh, jingle bells, little Joe's in the shop. Oh, my tools are rusty 'cause my hands they spade a lot. Oh, jingle bells, all my work is done, except those 7 orders that I hit, well, just for fun.
Thank you, little Joe. That's so sweet. Little Joey's shy, so that was a real treat. So Merry Christmas, guys, and a Happy New Year if we don't see you before then, and thank you guys for watching.